We're working hard individuals.
There's 30 your salary.
That's right. 30%
We're
of
working
your
hard.
salary. First of all, we
We're
know
working
this is not
class.
free stuff. We're already at the brink. They're already charging people at the brink of being rent burdened. So first of all, this is not free stuff. Second of all, these are public goods. They're public goods. So I never want to hear the word or the term free stuff ever again. Because that's right. I'm already hearing some of these neoliberal folks who are saying who are trying to like flip the script on us and say, like when we talk about tuition-free public college,
No.
or when we talk about public housing, they say, oh, well, I don't want to pay for a millionaire's kid to go to college. That's their like jujitsu on us that they're trying to pull. Let me tell you something. Is that I believe that all people should go to a public library, should be able to go to a public library.
Yes.
Everyone can drive on our roads. Everyone should be able to send their kids to public school, and every person who needs it should have access to public housing that looks like this. Hi everyone, I'm so excited here today. What a beautiful day to liberate ourselves from student debt. What a beautiful day to liberate our future generations from the scourge of for-profit education, and by that we also mean for-profit student loan debt as well.
What my bill does is simple as it is revolutionary, as Senator Sanders says. It cancels all of 1.6 trillion student loan debt. No exceptions, no questions asked, full cancellation. But we can go a step farther. And as I always say, America does not suffer from scarcity. We suffer from greed.
This proposal will make it possible for every person in America to get all of the education they need, regardless of their financial status. We will make a full and complete education a human right in America to which all of our people are entitled. This means making public colleges, universities, and HBCUs tuition-free and debt-free. This proposal completely eliminates student debt in this country and ends the absurdity of sentencing an entire generation, the millennial generation, to a lifetime of debt for the crime of doing the right thing. Our proposal, which costs $2.2 trillion over 10 years, will be fully paid for by a tax on Wall Street speculation.
Hi everyone, I'm so excited here today. What a beautiful day to liberate ourselves from student debt. What a beautiful day to liberate our future generations from the scourge of for-profit education, and by that we also mean for-profit student loan debt as well. This is such an important issue because this is not just about our future generations and our current generations, but this is about our entire economy. We are experiencing a systemic and economy-wide threat to grinding our economy to a halt, because families and people in my generation, older and younger, are not buying cars, we're not purchasing homes, we are not building families because of the scepter that student loan debt represents on our generation. It is unjust, and it is a burden that no generation before had to encounter to the scale and the level that ours has. I think so much about this moment when I was in college, and I was mentoring this young woman. Her name was Andrea. She was about 3 or 4 years younger than me. But I was about 19 years old, and she was in high school. And she had gotten into all of these prestigious universities. But she was given no student loan assistance, she was given no scholarships. All of her student aid was presented to her in the form of loans. And she came from a solid middle-class family. She was not exceedingly wealthy. And so she got into her dream college, but her dream college offered her no scholarships, just loans. And she truly felt, at 16, 17 years old, she felt that the decision of college was so important that she felt that she needed to consider taking on $250,000 worth of debt to go to college. And she's 17 years old, and here I am calling her from my dormitory, a 19-year-old consulting a 17-year-old about a $250,000 loan debt situation. And I think that in and of itself illustrates the absurdity of our education financing system. That alone illustrates it. Because what we tell 17-year-olds all the time is that you are not old enough or responsible enough to drink. You are not old enough or responsible enough to vote. You are not old enough or responsible enough to serve in our military, but you are old enough and responsible enough to take on $250,000 worth of debt. And that is wrong. It is not right. Not only is that what we are telling children now, minors now, but that's what we have told them for decades. And it has resulted in a crisis that we have seen today. Now people are in their 30s and older that have taken on insurmountable amounts of debt because we have sold them an empty bill of goods. And what we need to do is make it right. And that is why we have to both make public colleges tuition free and forgive all student loan debt at the same time. And I will be completely honest. I will disclose my personal stake in this fight because I have student loans too. And I think it's so funny. A year ago, I was waiting tables in a restaurant, and it was literally easier for me to become the youngest woman in American history elected to Congress than it is to pay off my student loan debt. So that should tell you everything about the state of our economy and the state of quality of life for working people. Because in order for me to get a chance to have health care, in order for me to get a chance to pay off my student loans, I had to do something that was nearly impossible. And I don't think that that is the bar through which a person should be able to access education, health care, and a bevy of other things that should be considered human rights. And this bill, and I'm so excited to be introducing this bill with Senator Sanders, Congresswoman Omar, and Congresswoman Jayapal to make sure that we start embarking on the solutions to these problems. So thank you very much, and thank you all for giving me.